Hi, this is Jason. Today we're going to have a short workshop about how to write an introduction. Alright, so remember, an introduction is the first paragraph of an essay. Also, this workshop, it just outlines the basics of an introduction, and writing an introduction can sometimes vary between subjects, so it's always important to refer back to your lecture notes in case there are some additional introduction requirements. Okay, so let's take a look at an introduction structure. Alright, so there's 3 sections to it. Okay, let's look at the first section. First section is background information. Alright, so here you're just introducing the topic. You may want to define 1 or 2 important words that the reader might not know. Okay, if you're going to do that, make sure you do an in-text citation. It is okay to do an in-text citation in an introduction. In fact, I would encourage it. Alright, in the next section, you want to focus on ideas that are in the essay question. Alright, so you could also add like a fact or a statistic as well. Okay, if you do that though, make sure you tell the reader where it came from. So in other words, you have to add a citation. Alright, next or finally is the thesis statement, or in other words, the purpose statement. It's usually 1 or 2 sentences, and this tells the reader what will be discussed in the essay and what will be discussed in each section of your paragraphs as well. Okay, so it's really important. It links your whole essay together. So there we go. Alright, introduction structure. There's 3 sections. Background information, then you focus on ideas in the essay question, and then finishing off with the thesis statement. Alright, let's take a look at this in a bit more detail with background information. Alright, so as I've said, you're going to discuss the issue or the problem on a broader sense, so a widely, okay, and then explain definitions that might be unknown. This might not be necessary, but so you need to think about that. Okay, let's take a look at an example. So this is our essay question. Alright, let's read it. Parents homeschooling their children can be common practice in some states of the USA. In the last decade, parents in Australia are turning to homeschooling as a result of frustration with the current education system. Homeschooling can provide some benefits to children, however, there may be poor outcomes too. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of homeschooling children in Australia. Alright, so what's the task? What do we have to do? Well, firstly, we need to identify keywords that's going to help us. So let's have a look at these keywords. So we've got discuss, or we're going to write about, the advantages and disadvantages of homeschooling children in Australia, not America, Australia. This information here is just background information which will eventually direct you to the question. Alright. Okay, let's take a look at some background information. An example. So remember, this is the first section of the introduction. So I've got here, in North America, homeschooling, which means the practice of teaching one's own children at home instead of sending them to school, has become more mainstream. It began in the United States of America, where it became popular in the 1980s among Christians. Later, it gained a reputation where homeschooling was seen as having parents who were alternative. However, over 1.5 million children in the USA are homeschooled every day. Alright, so I've defined what homeschooling is, and I've really discussed homeschooling in a broad sense. I've given some history about where it started in America, then how it became popular, and also how many people are homeschooled today. Alright, so in the next section I'm going to be focusing on the questions that's in the essay. Alright, so just a reminder, in the next section we're focusing ideas in the essay question. Alright, so let's go back and have a look at the essay question. What were some of the ideas here? We've got parents in Australia are turning to homeschooling because they're frustrated. We've got homeschooling can provide benefits. However, there's poor outcomes too. So I've connected this into my essay. Let's take a look here. We've got due to poor education outcomes in Australia, right, which is similar to frustration with the current education system, and the rise of online bullying. Many parents are turning away from the traditional education system and choosing to homeschool their children instead. However, it has been reported that some parents are struggling to provide a high standard of lessons, whilst other parents have had outstanding results. So notice how I've paraphrased it. Okay, it's similar ideas, but it's paraphrased. Don't copy it, you need to paraphrase it. Final section is the thesis statement. Okay, for this thesis statement I've used two sentences. Because I'm doing advantages and disadvantages. Sometimes it can be one, it depends. Let's take a look. Alright, so I have, it is argued that homeschooling can be beneficial for students who struggle to learn in the traditional education system and can protect students who are a target of bullying. However, it is also argued parents may not have the teaching skills to help students learn, and homeschool children may lack the social skills required for society later in life. Alright, so we've got two sentences. How many paragraphs do you think I'm going to have in this essay? Have a think. You might want to pause the video to have a think about this one. Alright, do you know the answer? It's four paragraphs. Okay, so we have two advantages, two disadvantages. Alright, so let's point out where they are. Alright, so the first one is, first paragraph, homeschooling can be beneficial for students who struggle to learn in the traditional education system. So that's going to be your topic sentence in your paragraph of the body. And, okay, using and to connect a second idea, protect students who are a target of bullying. Alright, so they're the two advantages of homeschooling. Okay, however, so remember, however is a signal to talk about, that highlights a contrasting idea. So that means this must be our disadvantage. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So we've got parents may not have teaching skills to help students learn. That is going to be the third paragraph of the, or in other words, the first disadvantage paragraph. We've got and, so we're connecting our next idea. Homeschool children may lack social skills required for society later in life. That's the second disadvantage. Alright, so you can see this thesis statement tells us what will be discussed in the body. It's really important. Right, here's the complete introduction. I'm not going to read it out. You can pause it and read it yourself. Okay. Remembering, notice I've got some citations here. Okay, very important to have. Alright, that's all for today. I hope you got something out of it. If you want to talk to me more about this or write your own introduction on something, you can make a booking and then come and see me in room 309. Thank you.